What do I sound like in this? Jesus.
Sound low.
You're not gonna like the sound of your voice. Most people don't. Once they're like, oh, that's what I sound like.
No.
I don't know. I sound pretty amazing.
You, sir, are full of yourself.
Yeah, that's
true.
Like an easy listening radio station host.
I guess I should expect to have the worst setup because I'm the guest.
yeah. Actually, we were gonna get like a Dora the Explorer kids table.
One of those like little Tyson microphones that reverberates. Like,
is this even plugged in? Like, no, but it's all right.
purple and plastic, you fucking moron.
That's what you get for not being regular.
That's right.
I'm just happy that we got like a thing to like hang down below the table so everyone's not checking our feet out.
Yeah,
like
for
that's
sure.
podcast,
I mean, but then we cut out all the foot fetish people.
We do. We cut out a whole demographic.
You lose me.
Yeah. Are we recording?
Oh, we've been recording.
Always fucking recording. Are you?
Yeah.
All right, good. That's how we start this shit.
We always start with
All right, Ed, cue the fucking music.
Oh shit.
Welcome to the Sofa Kingdom podcast with your hosts, Nelson.
Ian.
And would you stop fucking eating before you announce your name? This is some bullshit.
I wasn't not gonna finish the fucking donut.
We have a special guest. Can we introduce him, please? I mean, what the fuck?
Hey man, the music's still going. Relax. What's the rush?
This table is really wobbly.
Yeah, we don't touch the tape.
Don't touch it.
Don't touch it. Just look at it.
The voice you just heard is our special guest today, live from the hatchet-throwing inbred mountains of my homeland in the north. My brother, Shea.
So, Wisconsin?
Kind of Wisconsin. A little bit, yeah. North of West Virginia.
I've actually never been axe throwing yet.
You will grow into it, my son. You'll grow into it.
Very nice. So, usually we like to start the podcast just discussing something we have seen, done, whatever, played, just something casual. For me, I will definitely talk about The Jungle Cruise. I watched it last night. I know it's on everybody's mind right now. The Jungle Cruise.
Don't look so confused. I watched it also.
Not all of us have premier access.
Some of us are special.
Yeah, we can hook you up. Don't worry about it. I mean, it's The Rock, the king of all action movies.
The only action star of today.
I mean, he's the only one allowed, right? It's him and Liam Neeson.
He's the only one allowed. Yeah,
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves is like the sci-fi action. Okay, John Wick. All right, I'm sorry.
Don't fuck with his dog.
Listen, John Wick is not reality, so that is fringe sci-fi. Some of the action in that fucking movie.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And Liam Neeson doesn't run, so I mean,
No.
he's
Literally, I don't think he can run. He'll have a heart attack.
Does The Rock run?
Yeah.
He lumbers.
No, he pays
lumbers.
people to run for him.
yeah, he's got a stunt runner.
I would.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And so I thought it was actually not bad. If you watch it and you're going in there thinking this could be something of a remnant of The Mummy / Romancing the Stone with a little Indiana Jones in it.
Jumanji.
No Kevin Hart. I mean, he would have been, pretty funny in the movie, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was a good family movie. It wasn't the best Rock movie, but I enjoyed it for what it was.
They brought some Pirates of the Caribbean kind of into it, some supernatural elements, and expanded on just what was a simple ride and what I expect will be a amazing ride when they update the theme park with what they did in the movie.
So Disney's trying here. They're
there was a definitive we got to do something with this ride.
Last year I went on the Jungle ride that's still there now, and I guess it's going to be completely redone by the time we go up. It'll have a
most definitely
3D rock there, God forbid we put in a whole new fucking ride.
And they capitalized on the dad jokes. Like they leaned in hard with the shitty jokes that you hear on the ride itself.
It was fantastic.
Yeah,
it was fantastic.
So it was enjoyable.
I've heard good things.
Yeah,
got more good things.
Yeah, see?
Got to give those park workers something to do,
Yeah. The only problem I have with the movie is the fact that somebody would let their wife be with The Rock in a movie, because you have to automatically assume he's gonna tag your wife, right?
Yeah. He's showing up, oiled up,
and can you even get mad? You're like, you cheated on me with The Rock. Fuck! Did you get an autograph? All right,
you gonna fight him?
You're gonna fight? No, you can't.
You got stock in one of those dozen companies he's running. You got something, right?
He sends you a case of his fucking vodka.
Energy drinks,
tequila. Tequila.
Mana.
Yeah,
Mana.
Yeah, it's mana.
Have some mana, sir.
Yeah.
Just drink it in the corner silently.
We all want some mana.
Yeah. How about you, Ian? Anything new in your world?
Believe it or not, I actually did watch something this week. I gave it a second try. My first, I watched the first episode of Masters of the Universe Revelation.
Yep.
I bought into all the critic reviews of it. They were really critical of it, saying it was woke, saying it didn't live up to the 80s. I'll tell you what, the first episode, it didn't really hook me. Watch the second episode, it was better. Third, even better. And the show ended up being, despite all the critical reviews I watched on, I enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Finished it, and the ending,
It was dope.
yeah.
Yes.
Kind of set up the second season that's going to eventually come out. I'm interested.
And
Mark,
if you're visiting your brother and you started episode 2, there's nothing to bitch about.
there you go. Exactly right. Exactly.
Asshole, he wouldn't even restart the show. Just
that's
Fuck no, I'm not.
Come on. It's like 30-minute episodes. Help your brother out.
Yeah, well, in my defense, you don't really have to understand what the fuck's going on. It was an 80s cartoon, bunch of pumped up dudes, fucking.
He's like, nothing made sense. Everything blew up. Here we are.
Here we are. Yeah. Some people were dead. Now, just
And now they're not. So,
Yeah, exactly. It was good. I enjoyed it. So, despite all the people shitting on Kevin Smith and saying blah blah, don't look at it, blah, blah, just give it a shot.
Yeah,
It's-
I enjoyed it. I watched the whole series.
I
It's
watched
only
it.
half.
yeah, it's like 6
it's
episodes.
a 10-episode season. They only released the first 5.
Oh, there you
Yeah,
go.
I watched it all
Yeah.
in one sitting, and it's amazing because Kevin Smith tends to either have all the critics hating everything he's doing and all the fans loving it,
Jersey Girl.
or in this case, all the fans hating what he's doing and all the critics love it. It flip flops.
one way or the other.
Yeah.
Hot or cold.
I thought it was great. I like what he's doing with the show. I didn't feel like it was overly woke. I felt
No.
like they're just introducing a new generation of characters and progressing the storyline.
Yeah, and they really pumped up Tila. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
she's great.
And they even touched on some mental health shit with Orko and everything. I mean,
Yes.
it's whatever. I enjoyed it. I didn't
they,
think it was.
They
like
took
how-
the show directly after where the original ended. They literally said, "Here's where the original ended. We're just gonna take off right from there, and here's what happens."
I like how they addressed the dumbass names like Evil Lynn.
Yes.
Like I wasn't always Evil Lynn. I added the evil later. Like of course you did. Nobody names their kid fucking Evil Lynn. Like
Not yet.
dumbass Shea.
I don't know. Kanye West named his kid some pretty fucking stupid names. We got like Northwest, Southwest. What are they? Fucking airlines?
It wasn't adjective West. It wasn't like dumbass little blue West or whatever. Oh, Ivy Blue is somebody else's kid.
That's
Ivy Blue
Jay-Z.
Carter. Yeah, it's Jay-Z.
Yeah.
What about you, Ed? Anything new for you?
Right now, the only new thing I've touched on was Animal Crossing. So it was it's a little late to jump on.
Hold
Yes.
on a second.
Yes.
Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing.
Is that what?
It's a Nintendo Switch game.
And for what fucking reason are you playing this?
He went back in time to the quarantine.
Yeah, he did.
It is.
Ed, as someone who plays a lot of Digimon, I'm gonna defend you on this. Let the man. Let the man. You know, let the man play.
This is another game in the ongoing series of getting my daughter to play
Right.
better video games.
No, that's a good excuse. Were you also eating Pez?
No, it's the same. It's the same reason I
Why are you
got.
coming at Pez? What the hell?
Because that's like a throwback candy to like the 80s.
Yes.
No,
A better time.
bottle caps are better than
Bottle
Pez.
caps. Okay, all right. What? We're going with that. He's like, why are you hating on all the candy I like? This is bullshit.
Oh man.
You guys don't like jelly beans either? What's going on here?
Why is the only diabetic in the room defending candy? What the fuck are we doing?
Jeez. I did like Animal Crossing's marketing campaign when it released
Yes.
during the quarantine because it released the same day as Doom Eternal.
Yeah.
So like
Who the fuck are these dudes?
Yeah, no, it's all right. I'm learning
I don't remember their name,
about
but
our brothers.
the Animal Crossing like mascot dressed up as the Doom character like on like a video for the
okay,
release
all
date. And the Doom character was like fishing in like an Animal Crossing pond. Like they co-marketed together because it's the two most extreme demographics of
A
all time.
hell marine fishing. I'm on board.
Did you see that when it first got released? Yeah, it was
I'm
hilarious.
on board.
I love little things like that, but it's just a little relaxing game. You're building your island, you're doing things like that. But again, it's the whole reason I even got the Switch was it's good family games that kids can pick up on easy and slowly working her to proper games. So when she wants a game, it'll hopefully be a game I also want to play.
All right, that works out. What about you, Shay? Anything you're into?
So I've been pushing the series on Ian lately. I've just been burning through it. I
No
think
more girls?
Yeah. I think I've played through like 6 or 7 of them this year. It's the East series.
Ys?
Ys, Y-S.
Just a
Yes.
Y and an S.
Yeah, it's an action RPG series.
Interesting.
Made by like companies like Nihon Falcom or something. I think you have to say it weird like that too.
God bless you.
No, you got it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fuck 'em.
Yeah.
Nihon, fuck 'em.
But it's an ongoing series for like 30 years now. Like I think it's older than me, like 35, I don't know. But every game is about the same fucking guy. Like it's the same red-haired swordsman. And like you're like, oh, is it a Final Fantasy? Like is it different every time? Like no, it's the same kid. And like in 30 years, he's aged like 4 years throughout the game.
So he's like the most unlucky character ever. He's
Yeah.
always in some shit.
He's always like
So he's like the Nicolas Cage of video
Yeah.
games or anime.
like every single story.
Beast!
he washes up on a beach, his shipwrecks, he gets amnesia, like from 17 to 24. Dude's had so many concussions. He's gonna sue the NFL soon. It's gonna be crazy.
Oh man, it's basically like Will
rough.
Smith
But
is
yeah.
going to do an appearance. Talking concussions.
It's a white dude with red hair, but Will Smith will play him in the movie.
On the East Kid.
Yeah.
But I was playing East 8, the Lacrimosa of Donna is the game for PS4. It's unbelievable, fantastic, fantastic.
Japanese video game names.
Yes.
You should all play it.
Yeah, no, for me, like Japanese genre of games, I either really love them and I dive in, or I hate them immediately and I just can't play them. So,
Heard you're a big Yakuza Like a Dragon fan.
oh no, that's this guy over here.
It's a fantastic game.
You know, the Kiwami remasters are amazing. 1 and 2.
I fucking knew you two were gonna hit it up. I knew it.
It's really hard to go back and play Yakuza 3 after you play a remaster like Kiwami, but
You know what? Since we're diving right into video games, that's what today's episode is going to be about. Video games that we loved over the years, different consoles, different ways of playing, different genres of games. So I know that like Ian himself, he likes horror games, Viva Pinata.
Lies. I know.
You notice how he mentions Viva Pinata a lot?
He does.
Yeah, all the time.
He talks shit on people for playing Viva Pinata.
I thought his
secretly play
tattoo was
it.
Viva Pinata.
It is. It's Horstachio for sure. No, for me, I jumped right back into the Mass Effect series. Because for me, the Mass Effect series is probably one of my favorite RPGs that deals with space. It also has that style of like pick your poison when you're playing the game and choose your reality. It's really in depth with character making, and one of my favorite games. I really love it. It still holds nicely. The only fucking thing that I hated is that I started playing again. I was hours into it, just enjoying myself, and then I died, and I was like, fuck, I'll just start at the next save point. And the next save point was like an hour back. I was like, fuck, oh, you gotta save in this game. But it's still an amazing game. Still love it. I'm gonna play the whole series through until, what's the last one name?
Mass Effect 3.
Andromeda's the last
And
one.
yeah, fuck that game. But the other ones are amazing. So I'm gonna enjoy myself.
So we're playing to the last one. We're just foregoing that Andromeda exists.
yeah, it doesn't exist.
I also heard it's a pretty good like romance simulator.
Oh yeah, it definitely is. It told me a lot about life in space with blue buns.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
have to invest millions of dollars to get the atmosphere to have sex with Tali.
Oh,
She
yeah,
can take off her
absolutely.
mask. It's the only one to do. Yeah. I can't breathe your air. We'll
say
fix
it's worth
that,
it.
baby girl.
Oh, it's worth it.
We got money.
we
We got
got
money.
this.
We can
Yeah.
fix this.
I'm still not happy because they haven't released the DLC for the gay Krogan sex, and that's what I'm really. I mean, who doesn't look at Rex?
Oh yeah.
The Krogan Battle Master.
They
and
have two of everything.
Can you bang the Kanye West lookalike? Jacob, what's his name?
I don't know, but I think Eddie would.
Eddie?
What? Yeah, no, he did.
That's a pass.
So, get it.
But the game starts off like, do you want to save the in 2? It's like, do you want to save the hot white girl or do you want to save Kanye West? And you're like, okay, like,
Yeah, that's a choice.
Jesus is walking that way towards the gunfire.
Did anybody save that guy?
No, not at all.
I didn't even go back to replay to see what happens if I save him over her. I was like, fuck him, he's gone. Goodbye.
But you know what's interesting that they're saying with the new consoles and the data that they've collected over the years is that the most underutilized character in the game was actually the Krogan.
Yes.
And that there's a lot of storyline that people have neglected by not playing the Krogan that leads into Mass Effect 2 and 3.
He was a main party staple for me. I used him the entire time.
Rex
Rex stays
he was
stays in my
a
party.
fucking monster when you give him a shotgun.
He
Yeah.
was way better than
He absorbs it.
next
It doesn't matter what you hit him with.
What's his name?
The next
Ugnaught?
Krogan, the second Krogan.
It's Urdnot Rex, and the second Krogan's Grunt or something? Or?
I believe so. I don't
Oh, so they just
remember
gave
his
up.
name.
They just fucking gave up on it.
Well, you can keep Rex. You could keep Rex if you play through and keep him alive.
Can you?
From the first version
Yeah,
of the game going into the second.
I had Rex the whole way through as long as I was able to.
Yeah, so if he dies on you, then you can't carry him over into the second game.
Oh shit.
So you did a shitty job.
I don't
with
think he
Rex.
died. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I only killed Jacob.
Oh no.
No, that's the only one you enjoyed killing.
Okay, just to let you, I have to maybe I'm gonna have to agree with Nelson on this one, just because I remember when Shea played The Witcher 3 and I played The Witcher 3. There's a mission in it, spoiler alert, where there's a serial killer in the city of Novigrad, and Shea played the mission, and you walk into this whorehouse, and there's this guy torturing one of these whores. And you have given a choice. Do you kill the guy with the hot poker, or do you interrogate him and find out what he has to say? Well, Shea, assuming he had caught the serial killer, kills the guy right there on the spot.
Ooh, yeah.
Kills
Killed
him.
him.
Kills him.
Yeah.
And he's a noble guy. He saw someone torturing a girl. He killed him.
Yeah.
Not
As you
knowing to
should.
Shea that if you torture the guy, you get information, find out he couldn't have been there. He was somewhere else at the time of the one murder.
Yep.
So there's actually a vampire lord under the streets of Novigrad killing people that in Shea's world
He's still there?
is still roaming through Novigrad. So I apologize to the people of Novigrad in Shea's game. You're still suffering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm
I
side with
probably would
Nelson.
have killed. I probably would have killed the guy too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
because you see a hot poker, like,
Yeah,
you're a
man.
fucking evil.
You're a sick
man.
bastard. You know?
Like, you're
That's what I-
sadistic.
You think about that? Would I like that? No, I wouldn't like
no.
that. Like,
It's like the evil guy from Game of Thrones. What's the little prince's name?
Oh God, Joffrey.
Joffrey. Yeah. Like, why are you gonna kill the hottest whore in the village? Like, there's so many ugly ones to kill.
You're gonna get everybody angry at you.
Who's the other one too? Who? Ramsey Bolton.
Yeah, Ramsey.
Ramsey Bolton.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
He was good too. He was whacking off wieners.
but I mean, I think
That didn't sound good.
He was killing the competition.
Ned Stark just needs to teach his kids how to bob and weave.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Who runs straight?
Yeah.
Who runs straight? What the hell was that kid's name? I even forgot his name.
Rickon.
Rickon Stark.
Which he's still alive in the books, so like now that's all ruined. Like he's not the Great White Hope in the books.
Like George R. R. Martin's gonna finish that story. Yeah, okay. He cashed in.
Yeah, in
George-
2034 he'll finish.
Listen, he was writing those books forever. He needed a payday.
Yes, he
Yes,
got
for
paid.
sure.
He's out.
Yeah.
He's making video games now.
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring
I am looking forward to that to see
So
what
am
they
I.
do.
looks bad.
I haven't heard of it. Is it an RPG style game?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think it looks
I
Dark
believe it's a
Souls.
Soul style.
It looks Dark Souls. I don't think they were going to be pushing the difficulty as much as they do with Dark Souls, though.
Parry or
I
die.
seriously hope not.
Because I'm not a fan of the unnecessarily difficult for the sake of being difficult gameplay. That just
So you
seems
love,
There is an appeal.
Sekiro.
Yeah.
No,
There is an
No.
appeal to it for some people that they do love being the people that beat those games
that-
where
that-
other
that's
people
called
cannot.
masochist.
Yeah, may I recommend other like activities to you, like wire brushing your fucking teeth? Like, what the why?
Training your shins.
Yeah.
There's plenty of other ways to beat yourself up.
Oh, dip your fist in glue and glass and just
Yeah.
start punching shit Kumite style.
Shaving
All right,
your
yeah,
face
yeah.
with fire. You know, there's a number of things you can do if you enjoy that type of shit. Me personally, I like a little bit of difficulty.
Yeah, a little bit of difficulty, but not to the point where you're like, am I going to give up on this game?
Yeah.
You know, because there are some games like that, like Lost Planet, which I loved, but there were moments in the game onto beating it that I was just like, I'm going to give up on this game. I would have to step away from it for like a week, come back and be like, all right, I'm fucking this shit up tonight.
That's how I did it with Sekiro. I didn't look online or anything. I just kept playing, and because you die an infinite amount of times, like you have no idea how long you've been in the game. Like if you played straight through, is it 10 hours? Is it 1,000 hours?
Yes.
So I was fighting this dude on top of the pagoda thing and like lost for the millionth time. Fucking packed it up. I sold it, shipped it to some kid in Florida. I went on the Mercari app and sold my Sekiro disc. And then I googled it and I was fighting the final boss. I had fucking no idea. I had no idea I was fighting the final boss of the game.
So then you had to reacquire the game
No,
to beat
no,
it? Or
no,
you
no,
just left
no.
it?
Let's sleep in dog.
Fuck that.
He kicked my ass. Like I'm doing what Conor McGregor should do. I'm just not going back. Like
Well, that was like when we were growing up. My brother, he had this infatuation with Tamagotchis, and he couldn't keep them alive.
Ed,
Whenever you hear stories like this, take it and reflect it back at Nelson and realize who he's talking about.
Yes, I'm talking about Ed. Playing with Tamagotchis.
Tamagotchi's Viva Pinata. He's throwing a lot of heat. I don't know what the hell's going on here.
I mean, like,
Gentleman of culture.
speaking of video games, though, like, I enjoyed, like, the little handheld baseball game that they used to have with, like, the batteries. Like, that was, like, the first iteration of, like,
red
Game
lights
Boys.
going
Yeah,
around
it was
on
red lights. It's like, pink, home run. Have you ever played these games?
It was
they're
poverty
sad.
gaming at its best. It was basically just lights that went around when you hit the ball, how far you
Yeah,
actually
like-
made it around the bases.
You remember that stupid gray thing Mom got us for Christmas? They had the tanks game on it and the ping pong game.
Yeah,
It's like a little
she
gray-
tried. She
It's
did
like
her
a little
best.
gray, like cheap, like couldn't afford a DS.
Right.
Here's this
Yes,
thing.
exactly. Like, oh, you don't need
Oh,
Game
this
Boy.
is-
You got
yeah.
Game Boy at home. There it is.
There's like 18 pixels on the entire screen. Like
Thanks, Mom.
we
Shout
can
out-
light up 5 at one time.
Yeah, it was like 8 D batteries to run and it would die in 20 minutes.
It was the thought that counted. Thanks, Mom. I didn't really want a DS.
Now, I know that you said you love the Witcher series.
I loved it. I think The Witcher 3 is probably one of the... Arguably, you can make an argument say it's the greatest game of all time. It's definitely probably the best RPG on the PS3. And you can even say it's on the... It came out for the 3, though. The original Witcher 3 came out for PS3. Somebody
I'm
Google
not
it.
sure. Yeah.
Somebody Google that.
I'm gonna call bullshit on that one.
It's okay.
Yeah, for me, I played The Witcher 3 on.
If
the
you're wrong, you have to
PS4.
show your ass to the camera.
I don't agree with this. You could just be wrong for the sake of being wrong.
Nah, he's gonna suffer. He's gonna suffer for it.
But now, see, you say Witcher, I say Skyrim. But I haven't played Witcher 3 to completion, so I can't say. I started playing it. I enjoyed it.
Only PS4.
Only PS4.
What?
Oh, man.
PS4, Microsoft Windows, PS5, Xbox One, Series X, and then Switch.
I'd like to formally apologize to everybody on the...
We'll just say that it's like the Mandela effect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You thought it was.
I also have to apologize for the last episode. I think we were talking about the Mario movie.
Yes.
I said that Dustin Hoffman played Cooper. It's not. It was Dennis Hopper.
Ah, yes.
Dennis Hopper. I'm sorry to Dustin Hoffman. You're a fantastic actor.
Close enough.
You're in The Graduate. He's an Oscar winner. I'm very sorry, Dustin
and
Hoffman.
didn't we agree that Luigi is probably the worst character?
Until you found out there was a Waluigi, and then
And then,
you lost your
and then
shit,
Waluigi, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, that would make Super Smash Brothers a shitty game, wouldn't it?
This is bait. This is bait. It's like,
Oh, this is totally big. Yeah.
Is that a hook?
Oh, yeah.
Comment?
I mean, nobody has that on their list, right?
No.
I don't actually.
Does anyone have Super Smash Brothers? I don't think so.
As far as fighting games,
It was fun.
It was fun for like a button mashing game, but to me, when I think of fighting games, I need the inputs, I need the combos, I need to feel like I'm actually in control of the character, which is why I didn't like games like Killer
You
Instinct.
played as Kirby, didn't you? Who did you main in that game? You can combo some shit
I
up.
heard Ian dated a girl named Kirby.
Damn.
She was round and pink.
She was down to pin. Yeah.
I miss that little cream puff.
Kirby's got a big mouth though.
Yeah, they all got good features somewhere, right?
Yeah.
So it's like,
You know what I'm saying?
no, like, so Super Smash Brothers to me, it wasn't a terrible game, but it wasn't the best as far as like fighting games were concerned. When I dived into fighting games, I loved the Street Fighters, Soul Calibers, Mortal Kombats. But out of all of them, to me, like the culmination of fighting games, and Ian will agree with me, is Injustice 2.
Street Fighter 2?
No, you said Injustice wrong.
I mean, you're right. It's really hard to understand like the intricacies of like turning the game on and then selecting Superman and then floating towards your opponent and pressing only the punch buttons.
Right, because he doesn't kick.
he doesn't kick.
It's like the equivalent of jump kick, low kick in Mortal Kombat.
Yes,
Yes,
except you don't even
exactly.
need to kick. It's just it's punch.
Which you don't get to Injustice without Mortal Kombat, because the Injustice is running off the Mortal Kombat engine.
It is. And what they did was they took the Mortal Kombat engine and they surpassed it and they added their own things for that superhero flavor.
Yeah.
Since I'm a huge fan of the superhero genre as a whole, I maybe like overindulged in the game, like it takes
maybe?
countless hours to get them to like level 30.
It's not a maybe.
And you will see
Not a
that
maybe.
I have manually gotten every single character to level 30, including Grodd,
Not a maybe.
even Grodd.
who would destroy Donkey Kong in a fight.
What are we even talking about here?
Super Smash Brothers again.
Yeah, we've come full circle. We've come full fucking circle.
Donkey Kong's smacking the ground.
Yeah, he's just throwing barrels and Grodd's like, I had mind control, bitch.
Yeah, I'd want to see that. I'd want to see the math there. You know, I'd want to see a death battle between Donkey Kong and Gorilla Grodd. I'd want to see how that plays out.
It would be quick and painless.
You think?
Yeah, he has mind control.
You see Mario killed Sonic on the death battle? On the Sonic thing?
Well, did he flower?
No, they calculated, he kicked him in the head, and they calculated, like, when Mario kicks a soccer ball and strikers, like, it splits the ball into so many pieces. They counted, found the PSI it would take to kick.
Oh, that is great.
And they were like, no, it's, like...
Kirby, ironically, we were just talking about him. Kirby defeated Majin Buu from Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. He's the last Star Warrior, man.
Yeah, Kirby is actually an all-powerful being, and when he breathes things in, as innocent as that looks, you think he just breathes something in and takes the power. No, that thing is trapped in another dimension forever.
Yeah,
Just like
floating in a permanent state of stasis.
He's like the dark side of pink fluffiness.
So Majin Buu inhales him and turns him into chocolate. Kirby
much better.
banishes him to a different
to
dimension.
a realm of permanent sleep paralysis. It's fucking horrifying. Kirby is a monster.
All right, well, Kirby's on my zombie fight squad.
Yeah. Yes.
as he should be.
Yeah.
Right belongs.
Well, Nelson jumped all the way to this generation of gaming. Did we want to start from something older? Or
I mean, we can jump all over the
Injustice
place.
1.
This one doesn't have structure. This is just games that are important.
Nelson does a good job at setting a structure and then not following the structure.
But that's why we love him. That's why we love him. He's the chaos that we need. Sprinkles.
That's right.
He's the sprinkles on this donut right
That's
here.
right. Which I will eat.
Just the sprinkles?
So
Just the sprinkles.
so you wanted to talk about older games. Go ahead, Tamagotchi.
Well, I did have a blue Tamagotchi, but
I knew it.
mine lived. Unlike other people.
Right, because I didn't play.
Yeah.
Don't you have kids? Did you not feed your Tamagotchi?
I feed actual children.
Yeah.
I mean, digital ones, no. That's why I never played Sims. They would all just die.
I want to shout out to all the dead Nintendogs. Haven't been fed in a decade.
Oh, shit. So what game were you into then?
I wanted to highlight a game, and I got to look at the name of it just to be able to make sure I get it correct. So this is from the original Nintendo, the NES. This is Yume Kojo Doki Doki Panic, or as what America would know it as Super Mario Brothers 2.
Interesting.
It was actually a Japanese game, and they completely reskinned it just to give America another Mario Brothers game.
That's the one where they
That's why Mario 2 is so
floated.
different.
Correct. And that's where Mario, after that, took almost all of the things that they reskinned for that game and carried it all over. The multiple characters, all the enemies, the picking things up, all of that stuff that was put onto that game, which was a completely different franchise in Japan.
That was a really fun game. It was so different than the usual Mario Brothers we're used to.
Because
That
it
was all
wasn't a fucking Mario Brothers game.
That was
I
all in
did not know that.
Super Doki Pancake Simulator.
Yeah.
It was all in that game.
Yeah.
Was Birdo in that game? Was Birdo
Yes, that's where Birdo originated as well, which apparently
Wow.
is like the first transgender character in video games. If you actually
God
read the
damn
pamphlet, Birdo was transgender.
That was
That's
like
hilarious.
the egg vomiting Yoshi thing, right?
Yeah.
Well, that would make you transgender, right?
Yeah, technically.
Stop.
I'm just kidding. To each their own.
Yeah. Do your thing.
But another game that I don't think people talk about much from the NES was also Excitebike. The first time you had
Character creation.
We'll get there.
character creation. You were able to make your own tracks to play on and race on.
Interesting.
They wouldn't save because they didn't put a battery into the cartridge, but this is the first time that user-generated content was capable in your gaming
I
system.
completely forgot that about that game.
Yes.
Interesting. No, I was in the Super NES or the NES. That was where that
NES.
came in the NES. Was that Mike Tyson's Knockout as well? Came out on there, or was that
That
Super
was the
NES?
Super NES.
Yeah, I think the
Super NES was Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, right?
Super NES was the Super Punch-Out?
Somebody Google it,
And
because I
Mike
fucked up on The
Tyson's
Witcher 3,
Punch-Out,
so
I
somebody
think was
correct me.
NES. Yeah, because they
He's
basically...
trying to jump generations.
Yeah,
Oh,
again,
yeah, I'd love to do that.
He's a time traveler.
I'm like fucking Doctor Who.
Yeah, I think they had took Tyson, reskinned it, put Super in front, and just re-released it.
You mean Dr. K?
Isn't K what?
Shut up. Who asked you?
Oh, that's amazing. So besides that, on Excitebike, what other games did you like on the NES then?
We didn't really have too many. I mean, if you skip over the obvious ones, the Duck Hunts, the Marios, the Donkey
the
Kongs
original
and all
package
that,
came with 30 games.
Well, there was 18 games on release. The package showed 30 games. You had 2. You had Duck Hunt and you had Mario.
Right. But
That
then
was a split cartridge, right?
Yes.
Yes. And Duck Hunt was great too.
Duck
who
Hunt
doesn't
was
like shooting
fantastic.
fucking ducks out of the sky?
Yeah, I mean,
Great. And that asshole
still,
dog.
doesn't still work though. By the way,
It does.
'cause the light gun.
No.
The light
You
gun
need-
ran off the tubes in the TV. You can't.
You need a
so
tube
you can't
TV
even-
for it to
Yeah.
work.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. That I didn't know. So
Yeah.
But you were ready to argue me. with
no,
me.
I was.
You were gonna
Until-
fight.
until- I was, and I was like, wait a second, I don't know enough.
It still works.
I don't have all the information. Hold on.
Yeah, if you see purists, they keep an old tube TV for some of those games. Those light guns, they required those styles of TVs for them to actually work.
So if they were to decide to make it a retro game, they'd have to really reinvent the whole gun system for it in order to play it.
Yeah, they'd have to update the whole game and update the hardware to even make it work.
You would have to fire a real firearm at your television.
Listen, I'm ready. Let's do it.
This is America.
America.
I mean, at your television, though, not mine.
Absolutely. We'll have a party.
Damn. Okay. All right. No. So then there was Tecmo Football, which
Yes.
was another great game for the NES that I enjoyed. Donkey Kong's, of course, that was another great series of game. Zelda.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Started. Yep.
Yeah.
I think the final boss in the original Zelda is bullshit. You walk in the room and he turns invisible, and you have to randomly stab. Unless my cartridge was just fucked up. Like,
There were many games where you played and you had to pull that shit out and just blow into it, stick it back in, tap the Nintendo. But they were hardy games and cartridges, man.
were.
I'm telling
Yeah.
you.
I think a very underplayed game, was one I know we had as kids, was Arch Rivals.
Oh, I remember
basketball
Arch
game
Rivals.
Where you punch the dude.
Yes.
You don't. No one even takes a shot. It just turns it. It's
a
essentially
fist fight.
it's
It's a
essentially
fist
Mike
fight in
Tyson's
a
Punch Out.
Yeah.
That's the precursor to NBA Jam.
Oh,
Let's be
yes.
honest.
Oh yeah.
Now,
My
NBA
favorite was
Jam.
you could just hold the B button down and run down the court like this. Like, the dude fucking knows it's coming. But you just sprint full speed into him and blast him in the mouth. Dude, it was
Throw a
fantastic.
screen right now, man.
That's right.
They had like an infatuation with punching people in the NES because Road
Yes.
Rash 2, like you could drive by people and just punch them
Yeah,
off the road.
That was
right?
Sega Genesis Road Rash. Yes.
That was Sega Genesis?
Again,
Yes.
again,
What the fuck?
skips a console generation.
Fuck. No, to take that from the record.
The Last of Us 2, you punch guys.
That's
Yeah.
right,
Nintendo.
Grand Theft Auto 3, a lot of punching.
That was Nintendo too, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, Rob. Appreciate it.
Gotcha. Now, for me, like the Nintendo was great. Like we all had it. It's just none of my favorite games came from there.
Sure.
I mean, I enjoyed Mario and stuff like that. I mean, the best game I would say that came out of the Nintendo, if I had to pick one game that was the most enjoyable for me on the regular Nintendo, it would be Super Mario Brothers 3. Where you had the Tanuki suit, the twerp whistle,
Yes.
you know. You could go from World 1 to World 8 right in the beginning.
The Tanuki suit, that's the squirrel?
Yeah.
Technically, yeah.
Yeah,
Squirrel,
yeah.
raccoon
Squirrel
thing.
Man? Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Raccoon Man?
Yes.
All right, let's do it.
Raccoon squirrel thing.
Yeah, but if you warp from World 1 to World 8, you get your shit kicked in. You
do.
don't have any.
Still enjoyable
As
game,
you should, as you should.
As,
Endless cannons. You're like,
Yeah.
why did I do this?
You ever watch those videos of those people that like know how to
Speedrun?
Speedrunners, yep.
Man, that's insane.
where it's
And-
actually Mario playing the game.
yeah. It's like, but how much time do you have on your hands to figure that shit out?
I wonder what the world record is. I'm gonna look that up. Quick. What's
It's
the-
absurd because actually on a lot of those speedruns on the older games, they worked on actually glitches so they could avoid certain portions of the game. And actually, if you watch, when they do the Mario, they wait a couple seconds before they start because as soon as you turn on the game, the clock internally is going, setting the enemies. So you have to
Interesting.
wait a couple of seconds so that as you're running, you miss certain things through the rest of the run.
Because they're not being set up.
Exactly. So there's actually a timing of when you hit start that's necessary to get to the best time. On top of actually a glitch that sets you back a couple pixels to miss other. It's fucking absurd.
Sounds like cheating.
It does. It sounds
just-
incredibly like cheating.
Yeah. At a certain point to get to better times, it basically required glitching and cheating the game.
I think my favorite cheating in games came with Borderlands 1. We found when we were playing, and I believe it was on the Xbox 360.
Yes.
Okay, not the Nintendo.
Just
confirming. I'm getting scared here. Everything is Nintendo. We found that there was a way to like load up on all of your weapons and gear, go to like the main home screen, drop a huge pile, exit the game.
Yep.
Without saving, like you just got to shut your console off hard, and it leaves all your weapons there for everybody else there to collect them. And when you reload your game, all your shit is still in your inventory. So
it was item duping at its finest.
Yeah. So while it was fun, it then made the game boring after a while.
What really broke the game was people found a way to export their game save to their PC and change a couple numbers here and there with this game save and mod the weapons. So you would have shotguns that would one-hit kill everything on the screen.
Yeah.
It would shoot like 100,000 pellets at like 100,000 damage. Everything in front of you, fucking dead.
And it's fun for 20
Conference
minutes,
call.
but then after a while, you're just like, I'm just killing everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you want a little bit
yeah,
of a challenge
nothing
in there.
that drops is like, well, this is definitely not better than my shotgun.
And that's what made the game, looting. You know,
Yes.
like part of it, or part of the fun was looting the cases.
Yeah,
and-
they created that genre of the shooter-looter game.
Shoot loot. Yep.
Yeah.
I would say Ian and I co-op playing the game. We don't have any hours, like anything compared to Borderlands 2.
Borderlands
Oh,
2.
yeah.
Borderlands
Oh
2.
yeah, Borderlands was
I have
a
the vault
fantastic
symbol
game.
inside
Nice.
because of how much we played fucking Borderlands 2. Like,
Hell yeah.
I just looked it up. The world record for Mario 3 is just over 3 minutes.
God damn.
That's
over 3 minutes.
That's a lot. That's a lot of glitching and warping.
Yep, that's a lot
Yeah.
to work
And,
with.
and who does the world record? Who's it held by?
Monica Lewinsky.
Sounds about right.
under 3 minutes.
Under 3 minutes. baby.
Working the twerp whistle.
She knows her way around Tanuki suit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Kobayashi.
International waters.
Suck down them hot dogs. All right, so Kirby.
I know we mentioned NBA Jam earlier, and that's probably one of the most memorable games for me for the Genesis. That was the first time, because we had discovered codes by mistake on NBA Jam, just as the loading screen would go through, and we had figured out, besides some of the characters you unlock, was the half-court 3-point line dunking.
Yeah.
So that was a complete
A lot of strategy.
Game
involved.
surprise. Yeah, it just popped up saying that we had him like, oh, what were you pressing during the fucking menus? We got to figure that shit out. And that changed the game completely because...
And that's gone from video games. Like all those like secret
Yes.
punch-in codes. I haven't seen them in a while. Remember the
Contra
Game
codes?
Genies?
Yep.
The Game Genies for a while. Like you would
Yeah.
add another cartridge to your cartridge to cheat the fucking game you paid to play.
I mean, the reason I don't play as many fighting games anymore, because I played all of them up until probably the Xbox One, because they all became... All the characters they used to unlock and find and the secrets were all now paid downloads.
Yeah, you gotta wait.
And then you gotta wait. I'm like, I don't want to wait. I'm gonna play this game for a month, and I'm gonna be fucking done with it. I'm moving on to my next game. I'm not coming back 6 months later because finally you released the Predator.
Yeah.
I already played it, sold it, and 3 other games later, I'm gone. You're too late.
The whole genre peaked with Injustice 2, right? I mean,
Yeah,
no point even playing it anymore. Like,
yeah.
Basically, what they're saying is they can't beat me, so they gave up on fighting games.
You're pay to win.
Yes,
buy
that's
all
right.
the characters.
Wait, hold on a
buy all the
second.
characters.
What was the name of that pet farm game you were playing again? To avoid Superman?
I'll play you when the fucking Kryptonite DLC comes out. Then, then we'll talk.
Actually, Batman has a kryptonite suit, so we can put it on and play.
Oh,
anytime,
okay.
anytime you're ready. You know what I'm saying? I'll do it
You know,
blindfolded.
you know,
sounds like a ton of fun.
Yes.
I'll just read the comic.
Yeah. They're actually coming out with a animated series, movie for
Yes.
the Injustice.
Which should be interesting.
Yeah.
Great story. It's a great storyline.
It is. I think it's
HBO Max?
fantastic. Maybe. Yeah.
Cinemax, I think.
Yeah, they have a whole scene with Superman, your favorite character, and Wonder Woman, and
Gorilla Garage.
yeah, Gorilla Grodd. That took a turn.
Now,
Well-
for me, like some of my favorite games came off the Super Nintendo, like because I went straight from the Nintendo system to the Super Nintendo. put a lot of time into it, and I think a lot of the games that came from that system, they still stand the test of time to this day. The one I keep preaching about, I know that it reminds Nelson of an ape with a machine gun, but Chrono Trigger. I don't know why he thinks of an ape with a machine gun, but Chrono Trigger to me is you could arguably say it's the greatest JRPG of all time, and I would put it in definitely the list of top 5 greatest games of all time, even to this day, the whole way up to modern consoles.
That's pretty high praise.
Yeah, well, it's from
easily.
Yeah, it's from a time. It's from a time when you had to get by on not like the graphics were whatever. I mean,
right.
at the time.
Yeah.
But this was when RPGs were based off their gameplay, their character development, the story itself. Chrono Trigger just does everything right. You have Akira Toriyama, who's the artist for Dragon Ball Z, who does all the drawings, even the enemies, everything. It's time traveling, and it's not like a cheesy time travel gimmick that makes you replay things over and over again. It completely opens up exploration. There's like 50 different endings to this game, depending on who you interacted with and what you accomplished.
That's pretty cool.
It's amazing.
Yeah, but
There's not 50.
I want the good ending.
Who invited this fucking guy again?
I believe you did.
I think there's 7 endings to Chrono Trigger.
Are you a fucking droid? Like what the hell? Like, I can't get shit off here. Like,
I bet you if Superman was in the game, there'd be more endings.
there would be more. There probably would.
But even better than like Witcher 3 and Skyrim, you would say that it rates better as an RPG, or you're saying JRPG in that
Yeah, the
specific genre?
Witcher I would classify as a Western RPG just because it's more like you focus on one character and you just build off that. They do a lot of shit. There's a lot of inventory in Western RPGs. The JRPG is just literally the development of a certain story surrounding a group of characters, and Chrono Trigger does it fantastically. They do it in a way where you care about every individual character, and each individual character has their own side story that you go down, and there's a couple characters that are weaker than others, but for the most part, nobody's useless. There's not one person on the team you're like, oh, they suck. Like I don't want to take them with me.
Right. There's no Luigi's on this team.
There's no Luigi's on this team. No. And I think a lot of RPGs fall short of that. There's a lot of RPGs that you play to this day, and especially later generations, where it's like, oh, it's graphically great, but it's a pile of shit, like Final Fantasy 15, which is the world's greatest fishing simulator.
Right. They're basically banking on the name at a certain point. And then they kill franchises like Fable, which still blows my mind that they finished the fucking game and then they didn't release it to the general public. I mean, at that point, let it out, make your money.
Fable 1 was great.
Aren't they releasing? Isn't there a reboot of Fable?
They started from scratch because they did make the Fable 4 game. They had an alpha going, so the game was playable. It was done. Yeah. And then it disappeared. It never launched.
Jeez. Yeah. And Fable to me is a fun game. Like it's an RPG that isn't over the top as far as like inventory and categories and all this stuff, but it's still a fun enough game to engage you, and there's a lot of dynamics like, the good versus evil.
And you had some world building because there was always time jumps and the world would change, and the things you did affected how that world would change.
I enjoyed...
Jack of Blades was a great villain, too.
Yes.
Fable was awesome.
I love Fable.
I personally enjoyed breaking into people's houses in the middle of the night and murdering them. And then,
Chicken chaser.
And then
we're still talking about video games, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
yes.
right.
And then purchasing their house the next day and renting it out.
That's right.
I was waiting where you were going with that. Like this sounds more like Oblivion than Fable.
Like, is this an admission on live on the air? No.
There was the one jerkiest thing that I've done on the Xbox 360, which it was on, I believe it was either Fable 2 or 3, where this kid was like, hey, I built a second character. I want to transfer my entire inventory and cache. So can I give it to you? You hold it for me. I'm going to go back, load my new character, and then you give it to me. I'm like, sure, yeah, no problem. He gave it to me. I realized how much money it was. I was like, man, I could buy the whole fucking town, and I could buy this and that. And I was like, deleted him from my friends list. Kept all of it and enjoyed the rest of the weekend. He had other people on Xbox Live messaging me like, Iron Spartan wants his shit back. I'm like, fuck that guy.
That's what happened to Spartan.
Iron who? What? No,
Yeah, because if you want to fuck somebody over, it's definitely the guy named Iron Spartan.
Yeah. He was a bit of a douchebag.
He was
the guy that you would be playing shooter games as a team, and he would run in there like he was Superman by himself, like he's gonna fight the whole team. Like, you're not good enough, man. Stop it.
Yes.
Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's stories like that. People get like the the surname Evil put on.
Yes.
Like you're now Evil Nelson. Like,
Yes.
no, my parents didn't name me Evil. I fucked some kid over on Xbox Live.
A month later, he actually paid to change his Xbox name to get back on my friends list. And then when I realized who it was, I was like, "You sound familiar." He's like, "It's me. You got my shit." I'm like, "Delete." Stop stalking me, bitch.
That's me. You got shit.
I spent it.
Yeah, you think I got that? Hell no.
I got a briefcase full of IOUs.
And you ain't getting one.
That's so great.
That's fucked.
But no, but that was a good game at that time. But back to the Borderlands franchise, because I think Borderlands deserves a little more. Like, they jumped into the Handsome Jack
Yes.
series.
One of my favorite villains of all time.
Oh yeah, Handsome Jack. I could.
Oh,
You
yeah.
kind of look like Handsome Jack.
Which part? The handsome part or the Jack part?
The Jack.
That's fair. That's fair.
No, but I thought it has some very memorable characters. The storyline was always funny, fun to play. The game didn't take itself too seriously. And even back to the modding, the game developers themselves, they didn't care.
Yeah.
They were like, if people are having fun playing the game, we don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Have at it. You know,
Yeah.
so, and they made that like publicly known. And they were like, if you're enjoying the game, you paid for it, you want to mod it, you want to do it.
Yeah, because I mean,
Have
whatever
fun.
you were doing really didn't affect anybody else. It only affected your game. So, like, you're not hurting anybody else. Have a good time.
Yeah, yeah, and which is a good stance to take because I know that there were other game developers.
Yeah.
World of Warcraft people, you fuckers.
They're getting sued.
Yeah, Blizzard's going through a hell of a fucking time right now.
Oh, yeah.
They need to stop
they
fucking
are.
with the people that have enjoyed the game for
They had
years.
the Bill Cosby room.
Yeah.
The Bill
Yeah.
Cosby suite.
Yeah, Bill.
As it was
The entire
called.
state of California
Are
is
you-
suing.
yeah.
You have no idea.
Nelson, you know this?
You're talking about
Dude,
this is
Blizzard-
amazing.
Nelson,
Inform me.
Blizzard is done, bro.
Oh,
They're
shit.
done.
The Bill
They're
Cosby
done.
room?
Yeah,
Some,
it
some
was
girl killed herself on a business trip because they showed naked pictures to all the employees of her.
Bro,
Holy
shit.
Blizzard
No, I
is
did not
Blizzard's
know.
fucking dunzo, man. That's like
Damn.
dunzo.
God.
And they shit the bed with the new iteration of Warcraft.
Well, now none of your Blizzard games are going to work because you got to log into their servers, which will be shut down soon.
Absolutely.
To be able to play your game.
Fuck, dude.
Hope you didn't like Overwatch.
That's another game that can go fuck itself.
It's a-
Overwatch.
It's a place
What
that
an
needed a little
overrated
more
game.
Overwatch.
What's overrated about Overwatch?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I just did not like that
This
you are
guy again.
forced.
Yeah.
You are pigeonholed into picking a specific team. So if somebody got your favorite character, then you had to pick this person, or your team was just gonna lose.
You do have to pick certain characters or you lose.
Yeah, there's
Or
certain
you just gotta be
characters
better at the game.
I played it briefly. I didn't enjoy it either.
It would work well if you can count on people. Like if you had a team
yeah.
of people that you could play with and you worked well together and you chose different characters, that's one thing. But when you're jumping in with randos and shit, it can make the game almost not fun to
Yeah.
play. Like
you got, you got the sniper class person and he can't snipe worth a shit. You're like, dude, change your guy. You're not a sniper.
Yeah.
extremely
You're not good enough.
toxic community.
Yes. Yeah, but I like toxic communities because I enjoy talking shit.
When you're winning occasionally.
When you're
like,
winning, at least every 10 games, you got to win one.
If you
So,
get
know,
lobbied
like-
up, if you get lobbied up against a team of 5 and they're all in a party, you're like, ah, fuck.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm going down.
Shit talking was why Xbox 360 was so great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Voice chat was opt out, so everybody was opted in, and everybody talked shit, and everybody was okay with it. And the dude that didn't want to hear it, he was able to opt out and go away. And
Right.
it was few and far in between that you saw anybody really leave.
And Gears of War lobbies
Oh,
were the
yeah.
best for shit talking. I don't know, like Call of Duty was fun too, but it was more. I found more racism in Call of Duty
yeah.
lobbies
Yes.
than any other lobbies, and 13-year-old racists.
oh yeah, they're all progressive now and like shit. but, like,
oh, yeah.
six, 7 years ago, they're
You would hear like a little voice in the corner, like, "Are you Spanish? Go fuck yourself, you rice and beans guy." I'm like, "Dude, get your mom. I'm gonna tell on you. Please don't." Like, get the fuck out of here. No, Gears of War was mainly adults, which is why we liked playing in that specific lobby and the group of friends that we had. And we all talked shit just for fun. We were having a good time. Occasionally, this random asshole would jump in and think he can keep up with the shit talking, and they would cry their way home when they were done in the wrong fucking lobby with us. But I enjoyed the game. The gameplay was a lot of fun. Online, that was probably the most I spent playing shooters online was with the Gears of War community.
That by far is the game I probably played the most online.
What about you guys? Any shooters that you liked in particular?
Best shooter I liked was pretty much a shooter RPG. It's Borderlands 2. I mean, that's what we put a lot of time into.
I put a lot of time in Black Ops in college.
Black Ops is another great game.
Yeah.
Yes.
We my roommates and I at Penn State had like 4 TVs in the living room, all sat next to each other.
Fantastic.
Ran a team of 4. Yeah,
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Yeah, and when you have like those army strategy shooter games and you have a solid team, it makes the game all that much more enjoyable. And nowadays, like, it's hard to get people on the microphones. Like, even with the Xbox Series X, I find myself talking to myself in the lobby.
It's
unless
why
I invite my friends.
It's why I stopped playing Destiny. It was as much fun as I was having with the game. All of the end game content require you to have 5 other people on at the exact same time that were also good enough to run a raid and were willing to spend however many hours it was to fucking figure it out.
Yeah.
And it was a nightmare. If you didn't have people that were no-lifing it and just playing it all the time, you simply were always behind the ball with anything else you were doing.
You essentially had to let all your Tamagotchi pets die to play Destiny.
I never got into Destiny.
A closet of those hidden somewhere.
Oh, yeah. I just pulled them out of my pocket. In a board meeting, like, nope, I gotta feed my cat.
The story for Destiny was great. The gameplay was great. The online, the multiplayer, it was fantastic. It was just getting to the end game of the single player content you could never do without having a raid party that was willing to deal with the annoyance of the raid and literally being on for hours on end. Because if you left the raid, you didn't, you had some checkpoints, but you still like, oh, it's a fucking hour to get back to where we were.
Yeah. You had to teach other people how to be good at the game.
You had to teach. You really did. There was an entire clan. That's what they did, was they would teach people how to get through some of the raids.
Yeah.
So they could go teach other people, because it was some of the parts were so convoluted. Where it was like, you're really supposed to jump to there? It looks like well, if you double jump with this guy and this setting, like, oh, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, I can already tell I don't have the patience for that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fly.
So outside of JRPGs and Borderlands, what other games you think you enjoyed playing growing up?
I think you hit it when you said, I mean, everybody played Grand Theft Auto, so I could touch on that forever.
Yes.
But you said yourself, I like horror games. I do.
Yes.
I've always been a fan of horror movies, things like that. And I think one of the best games on the PS1, I remember this, opening it up on Christmas Day and starting it up, Resident Evil 2. I think Resident Evil 2 was the pinnacle of the survival horror genre. I think it fixed all the problems with Resident Evil 1. The acting, I mean, Resident Evil always has shitty acting. Even their live action movies with Mia Jovovich, it's shitty fucking
But
acting.
are you really going in it for the acting? I mean, what's the name of the main actress?
Mia Jovovich?
Yeah, I mean, you could watch her sewing. You know what I mean?
No, you're right. Okay, fair enough. But Resident Evil was just great. You turned it on. You started Resident Evil 2. It's like you started out in Raccoon City, car accident. There's fire, shambling, burning zombies everywhere. You go into the gun shop. I mean, spoiler alert. Guy ends up getting eaten by zombies. You get the shotgun. I'm sorry, it came out in like 1996. You haven't played it. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, it's on the NES.
I played that game by proxy. We would go to a friend's house, take the most scaredy cat kid in the room. You have the controller, and we're going to try to tell you where to go.
Part of the horror in that game was the controls. You couldn't even run if you wanted to.
They were god awful.
By Resident Evil 4, you're not even scared anymore. You're like fucking action superstar kicking the shit out of you. You're Superman floating around just punching zombies in the face.
Exactly.
Like, I can't kick, but
I'm gonna punch the shit out of you.
And also the remake of it for the PS4 is fantastic. The Resident Evil 2 remake.
the game is hard and scary.
The only Resident Evil I played was 4, and I enjoyed it. But I'm not a horror movie kind of guy. So for me to jump in and play the game, I think it was because it was a multiplayer campaign.
Yeah.
And so my friends at the time picked it up, and we were all playing the similar games.
It did have multiplayer. I forgot.
Yeah, and I thought it was fun. I enjoyed it, actually, and might go back to play some of the older Resident Evils just for the sake of it.
I don't
play the remake.
I don't play too many horror games either. I think the last one I could really say there was a horror game that I played was BioShock. And and that one wasn't really that much in it had some darker elements, but I don't even know if it really falls in line with being considered a horror game.
It's creepy.
Yeah, you go.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, creepy. I'm fine with. I could do that all day long and
It is
fall
very
out. That's
eerie.
great.
Like
No
little
problem.
girl way at the end of the hallway, creepy, or
Yes.
like a
Yeah.
leprechaun chasing you with a butcher knife, creepy.
That also.
I don't know if that's creepy. That's fucking horrifying.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure.
You played the game that both those things happen.
Yes, exactly. I'm pretty sure I could fuck up a leprechaun, man.
Funny you mentioned BioShock because another one of my favorite games. It's on the Xbox. I mean, being a PlayStation guy, I still did own an Xbox. But
Lies.
I did. I had one.
I owned an Xbox.
That's right. That sounds right.
This fucking guy. Anyway, so my favorite BioWare game was actually for the Xbox. It was Jade Empire. I think it took the whole like the good and evil thing from Mass Effect, like the Paragon Renegade thing.
Right.
In Jade Empire, it was the way of the open hand, the way of the closed fist. And the different decisions you made dictated the way your character would develop and like the fighting styles that he would
So
acquire.
if you were a pimp, it was the way of the open hand.
Right, yes. You were traveling across ancient China just delivering the open hand.
Baby powder.
Yeah.
Was that-
I was just about to say that.
That's the best part of How High. Baby powder.
What was so great about Jade Empire was your rival or the bad guy in the story. As you're gaining techniques, like you choose like I can shoot a fireball, or I can like do an ice thing.
Nice.
He gets the other power.
Oh,
So,
he's like
like-
your equal.
Like you're doing
or the
like big
opposite.
heavy hits, and he's fighting like quick cat strikes. Like it's
That's pretty dope.
yeah. It was the final fights in
So
that
you're,
game.
you're
were-
creating your own enemy.
See, that's
Pretty
another
nice.
game I haven't played. And what console is it on again?
Xbox, yeah.
I'm gonna have to go back and play. It
It's
sounds dope.
fantastic, yeah.
Nelson wasn't too big in some of those more RPG, other than Skyrim. I don't know too many.
Skyrim and Mass Effect, and then Star Ocean.
I think that's about
Those
it.
were my 3 RPGs.
We got a skeptic over here.
no. I just
There was a look of shock in his
Yeah, it
face.
it's a weird.
You're
it's a weird
forgetting. You're
left.
forgetting you're on camera. Like,
Listen,
you can't even say that you didn't do it. Like,
I didn't look at you like that, bro.
no, for me, I honestly like if I played a game for an hour and I wasn't completely into it, like I'm not gonna spend the next 18 hours maybe liking a game. Like, cause even Fallout, my brother loved the Fallout series. I
Fantastic.
hated it.
I can
hated
say the same thing.
Yeah, you didn't.
My
like
brother
Fallout?
loved Fallout. I didn't like it.
Yeah,
I don't know if you
I
loved it. Yeah,
it.
you
fucking.
you fucking played it. You
You got a
played it.
Fallout tattoo? No, he loved like
keep
Fallout.
checking?
Like he's got like Pit Boy underwear, I'm sure.
I don't have
Vault
the
Boy.
Pip Boy
It's
underwear,
Vault
but I
Boy.
have a bunch of Vault Boy stuff.
Oh, Vault Boy, yeah.
Pit
see,
Boy.
that's what
Whoa! The Pit Boy is the machine on your arm.
I'm an idiot.
Hold on.
Okay, all right. So I
Yeah.
did know something.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Critical asshole.
I'm
in the corner.
attacking everybody for everything.
It's all right. It's all right. Listen,
I told him don't be afraid to be a dick. I didn't think he was going to take it to the fucking like.
So Fallout 76 on the NES. What do you think?
Fucker comes into the podcast with a mouthpiece. Like, all right, wrong. Here's the first Vault Boy, dickhead.
Fuck is a Pit Boy.
Just met the guy. Fucking Vault Boy, you fucking dick.
I was wrong there.
No, it's all right. Listen,
It's okay.
We all
You got
can-
me on The Witcher. You got me on The Witcher. You got me on You Own the fucking Xbox. You got me on It's Not 50 Endings to Chrono Trigger. I mean,
So I mean, what was it? What was the? I had an absent seizure right
no,
there.
it's all right. Don't worry about it. You're still thinking about the Pit Boy incident.
yeah.
I'm just not used to being wrong. I'm pretty good at this.
Get him some sugar.
What was it that I had asked for a game for Christmas and you had asked for one and we got the wrong games and I held it over you forever? You got some dumb ass game and I got Grand Theft Auto 3. And you were so fucking mad because mom wrapped them wrong.
Oh, yeah.
And
Hold on.
I wouldn't let him play Grand Theft Auto 3. I'm like, it's my game. Mom's like, it's Shea's game. You can't
it.
play it.
No, I know what he's saying. He got the original Grand Theft Auto 3, and I got this pile of shit. I don't know what the hell it was. Oh, fuck. It wasn't Devil May Cry.
Oh, that's a great game.
It was a great, yeah, because that was good. But whatever the
Debatable.
fuck it was. This dickhead
What's
was...
debatable?
I don't like Devil May Cry. I tried playing it too. That was another game. I think I played for a few hours, and then I don't know.
I played-
It lost me
I
in
played
the
one of
mechanics.
them, I
Does
think,
it
halfway
like
through.
good games?
Devil May Cry 2.
Devil May Cry is like the equivalent of Super Smash Brothers.
No, I know what you're saying. Devil May Cry 2 was actually hard, but Devil May Cry, the original one, that was one of those games where if you died, you, like, sucked. Like,
Yeah.
the main character was so strong.
Yeah,
yeah.
the original.
They made Dante so overpowered.
The
in that
original
fucking
was
game.
the only one I played. Beyond that, I touched a couple of them. I just
Yeah, see, the only
Especially when they gave you the
Choices between
the other character,
Virgil, he sucks.
and he was so bad to play. I'm like, this feels like work instead of entertainment.
so you could play as the bodyguard for the $1 Million Man.
Yes.
Virgil. Yes, correct.
Ted DiBiase. Holy shit! Did he have a briefcase? No briefcase. What about the vest? You gotta have the vest. The vest is like a signature.
There was also some weird shit going on.
He might have actually been wearing a vest. I'm not sure.
Wait. Are we still talking about Ted DiBiase and Virgil?
Yeah, we kind of, yeah. There's a hot,
weird
the hot
shit
chick
going
that
on.
showed up in Devil May Cry. She was like the hot chick at first. Like, oh, this is gonna be some kind of
Trish.
romantic. Yeah, it turned out they didn't turn out his mom.
Yeah, it's his mom.
It's
Oh,
real
they
weird.
Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
She's in like
They
tight
Oedipus
leather.
complex the
Yeah,
game.
there's,
Yeah.
some weird,
Fucked up.
there's some weird shit going on there.
They're like, we're gonna bring in Back to the Future, Devil May Cry style.
You tell there was like a developer at Capcom, like sexy mom.
Yeah.
Like, just like he was just.
Listen, it's out of Japan.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Dante's like, you want to
That's
pull
all you
my
really-
devil trigger?
That's all you really need to say is it's out of Japan. Like it's so much shit up.
They do some weird shit.
They do really weird fucking shit. But we love them. We still love them.
But in terms of RPGs, I think I played the most for me. That was on PlayStation 2. That was job, out of school, money to spend, and it was just every game that I could get my hands on.
Hours and hours.
Hours.
Playing into the bouncer.
Hours.
what was your favorite
Yeah.
RPG on the PS2?
I
bouncer.
think
Fucking
it's-
Kingdom Hearts wannabe character on the fucking cover. Like Sora's older brother.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts. They give you like a
Addicted to
big magical fork to fight with in that
Whoa,
game.
whoa, 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 whoa. That is on my list.
Oh, shit. Erase it. Erase it.
He's shitting on the Keyblade.
Oh,
Nelson
man.
has shit on the
A
Keyblade.
teaspoon with sugar.
What are you gonna do? Get Goofy and Donald to fuck me up?
I can't.
Let's build a boat.
It's a gummy ship.
Even worse.
I can't defend Kingdom Hearts 3. That is just a 13-year-long overblown Disney fucking
Yeah.
theme park ad. That game sucks
the
ass.
storyline of that series is so convoluted. You got to play all the little handheld games and everything else to even kind of know what's going on,
With
and none of it
The
makes
most
sense.
cryptic names ever. Like,
Birth by sleep.
yeah,
358/2 days.
that's the worst
Oh,
name.
man.
But on
Kanye
topic
West
of
named them.
better RPGs than that,
Jacob from Mass Effect.
Fuck these guys. They just gave up on making names. It's just like writing random shit.
In Shea's defense, I watched him play the Kingdom Hearts games. He never built one gummy ship.
That was him. That was
I
him.
built every gummy ship.
He was my engineer. The
I
worst
was
part
the-
of the entire game. Like, hey, you want to do this boring shit for an hour? Like, yeah, Ian, you can do this for me. Like,
I loved designing gummy ships. They were perfect in every way.
Yeah,
They were
that was good.
designed for war.
it was good.
It is an aspect of games that people do gravitate towards. I mean, like, because if we're gonna talk games, I hate it, but like Minecraft, like it had such a huge cultural like shock on the system. Just like it's a shitty looking game.
good luck finding a kid that doesn't play Minecraft.
But everybody
Yeah.
loves it, and they play it. YouTubers, you know,
What's
they
that?
post videos about it.
Terraria is a better game than Minecraft.
Yeah, I like
one.
Unpopular
yeah,
opinion.
yeah.
Terraria
Or
was-
Little Big Planet.
Yep.
I thought
I don't know about
you
that.
could make
You
worlds
see,
and stuff
you see
like
some
that.
of them nightmare levels in Super Mario Maker that those people
my
put
God,
out.
yeah.
I mean,
What's
some
the-
of the things are like ridiculous.
What's the shooter that everybody plays? Fucking
Fortnite.
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 That's another game I couldn't get into.
That's a pass. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't like any of those. I'm not a fan of any of those arena shooters. I've tried them all. And
I like-
they're
they're boring.
I like the battle. What's the Battlefield one? The original one where they dropped the 100
PUBG.
PUBG, yeah. Where they drop 100 people off in like an area. That wasn't bad, the concept of it,
Yeah.
but I just, you know.
Even in the new Call of Duty, I didn't like that version of the game because I felt like you spent 10 minutes running
Yeah.
to get to a fight if you died or when you first started the game. And I was like, I just don't have the time.
I
Dump
like
me in
that,
the middle of the fight.
I like that concept, but like let's take it more. Like create a game where like you drop 100 people off, but like there's no guns. Like, you got to start with like a fucking fort. Like I want to see two dudes, and like you have a health bar, but I want to see two dudes like digging in each other's eyes and shit. Like, it's like put these kids through trauma. Like put them through
They've
like.
progressed that like 100 arena thing to like other games now. Like
Yeah.
if you look at the Switch, they dropped Pac-Man 99.
Yes.
where you start at Pac-Man level 1 and there's
wait.
99 people playing, and you play Pac-Man until you're the last
Yeah.
one going.
I never heard of that.
Oh,
Yeah, they
I,
got-
thought they dropped 100 Pac-Man off on that. I was like,
Oh,
wow,
no,
that's
no.
a...
And
But
I think like
Imagine the sound of
Tetris
that.
Effect
Waka, waka,
has
waka,
a-
waka.
Yeah, Tetris is the same way.
Tetris
yeah.
Effect has a similar
that's
thing where
Gonzo.
it's like a massive online version of Tetris.
But
So-
I think the first arena style gameplay, like I know back, I think this is gonna be a long shot.
Stop
I
touching
think
me.
it was GameCube or PS2. They had an arena style for like 16 or 32 players, but it was all computers. But it was Timesplitters 2.
Oh, that was a great
Co-op.
game.
I
was.
love
Timesplitters
Timesplitters.
was
Amazing,
a couch
amazing.
co-op.
Timesplitters 2 was fantastic.
Yeah.
How do we not all... We just now talk about this?
That
Well,
was
yo,
another game where you could
Written
build.
down, it's on my list.
You could build.
Listen, I love killing the ducks.
Yes.
The ducks with machine guns?
Well, we got to the point where we were building our own levels.
yes.
And you could create your own level design and then start playing them in there as well. That was fantastic.
Timesplitters 2
But
was
they
a great
could
game.
they could drop you off and like it's like 16 people, but it's me and him and then 14 bots. And
Yeah.
you're fighting to be the last
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
And then that style of play went away from shooters until fucking Fork Knife.
Yeah, Sport Wife.
Actually, in Gears of War 5, they have something similar where you can jump on and instead of having to play against other live players, the other team is all bots.
Yeah.
So they have an all bot
Okay.
Yeah,
gameplay
they
now
find that people
on
do
on
like
Gears.
the camaraderie and the playing with other
Zombies.
players.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
that's style
zombie
shit.
killing.
I don't know
shit.
how I feel about this camera just watching me be a complete fucking fat.
You're the only one eating. You're the only one eating the whole time.
I
I
thought-
just realized.
I inhaled that donut in 2 bites, sir, and it's on camera.
Jesus Christ! Like I just realized that everyone's gonna be like, "Who the hell is that?
Why is he eating so much?
Why the fuck is that caveman eating fruit? Like what the like?"
First off, no one's gonna say who the hell is that because you introduced yourself at the start
That's
of the
true.
show. Like,
Yeah.
He won't be back. Don't worry.
Actually, we were wondering about replacing you with your brother.
He
there you go.
seems to get a lot correct.
Oh shit! No, but that was a fantastic game. And there was another game that I really liked as a shooter throwback, Unreal Tournament.
Yeah.
I thought that Unreal Tournament 3 was probably the best version of that game. Enjoyed it the most. It was just all overpowered machines, all overpowered weapons. It was a lot of fun, and then it just disappeared. And that was the Unreal Engine too. I think.
Quake.
The problem is, shortly after that, all the games started becoming battle pass dependent. So you got to be.
Yep.
That's what the same thing that like the fighting games where it lost me. Like I don't want to be buying your passes all the god. I paid for the game. Give me the whole fucking game. I paid for the game.
Yeah.
Stop trying to make me pay for the game more all year long.
Listen,
To
every
unlock- it's not- pay-
game you have to pay. Even
Pay
Call
to
of
unlock
Duty.
shit. You gotta pay to unlock. It's not even like you pay. You get it? You're paying to play more to unlock more. You're paying for more grind.
Right.
Big,
If I want more
big
grind,
electronic arts guy.
There's
over
some
here. big.
fuck that.
It's in the game.
Listen, no, it's not. It's not in the game. It's not in the fucking. You gotta pay to unlock the rest of the goddamn thing. It's not in there.
It could be in the game.
It should be in the game, but it's
It
not.
used to be in the game.
Ed has activated battle mode.
But think about it. All these games require season passes and even more and more space on your consoles. I had to stop playing the new Call of Duty because it got to the point where I was like,
You couldn't
I have to
update.
erase more and more games. I refused to buy another hard drive. I was like,
Yeah.
fuck that.
If you had the 500 gig console, the only game you could have on was Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Because the way they designed the update, you had to download the entire game a second time.
Yeah.
And then it completely swaps out for the game you have saved. So I wouldn't just download a patch. So you got to like a 250 gig update. You had to erase your whole everything. You couldn't have
I don't-
anything else
just,
on the
do,
console.
just do a hard drive swap.
I don't
Two
care.
terabytes.
I don't give a fuck about a first-person shooter that much.
It was ridiculous.
Exactly. And I drew the line once it got to the point where I had to erase Injustice 2. I was like, fuck you guys. I had and Skyrim. I was like, I
that's
invested
a
way
travesty.
too much time.
You deleted
in
Skyrim for
deleted
Call of
Skyrim?
Duty?
I didn't. That's where I was like, fuck you, Call of Duty. Put it in the case, and I sold it on eBay for like $3. I was like, fuck you guys. You can have it.
You Sekiro the shit out of that.
Yeah, that's-
You play this Nintendo game, and you love it.
you cannot delete the Dragonborn. That's a sin. That's a sin.
Oh, man. That's fucked up. I got kids in that game.
I
mean,
will
at
say,
least
he platinumed Skyrim on PS3 and PS4.
yeah.
Wow.
Who does that twice?
Yeah,
That-
I actually beat Skyrim 4 separate times.
it was a hell of an achievement. I did everything. I literally that's a game where like I close my fucking eyes. One of you could start playing it, and I can tell you where to go. It's like, all right, the helmet's there. The sound of the footsteps in the water in the cave. I know where the fuck you are. Like, it's just that was such a great game.
Yeah,
Like,
it
if we're
was.
talking about great games, I mean, Skyrim. Morrowind was like the big one on the Xbox. Like Morrowind was the one that got me involved.
Favorite Xbox game.
Morrowind was
Morrowind.
was the first time you had a full PC style game
On a console.
On the console.
It was fantastic. You walked out onto that island and you were just like,
The combat was stat dependent though. You'd swing
Yes.
your sword
Yeah,
and not
you-
fucking
you
hit
would
the
be
guy.
you'd be swinging a warhammer, and if your skill was too low, the guy's just looking at you like you're beating the living piss out of him.
There's no way to be a good archer in that game. It's impossible. It's impossible.
No,
Like,
you can line up the headshot perfectly, fire the bolt, and it goes through his face because your skill isn't high enough. And you're just like, oh, wait a minute, no,
Yeah, you
pause.
can't legal lease that
Pause.
shit.
I was so strong in Morrowind. Ian watched it happen.
I did.
When you get to the pit to fight Dagoth the Earth,
I've never seen this. I've never seen this in any video
The
game.
final
since.
boss jumped off of the thing into the
lava
volcano.
to avoid a fight.
He ran from me, so I had to jump down the lava and beat his ass in the lava. Like,
This is true, all listeners. Dagoth the devil, at the center of the mountain, the red mountain in the center of Morrowind, killed himself rather than fighting Shea's character. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it to this day. He killed himself.
it was like a 180, and he just ran off the fucking
And
edge.
I remember, I thought, well, that's over. That's a climactic fight.
I love exploiting the shit out of those games in the crafting.
The jumping.
Yeah, I would make a suit to make my spells better. Put on the suit, make a better spell to make better blacksmith
Yep.
thing, and just do it around in a circle until you were fucking invincible.
Do you remember my big bang attack in the city of Balmora?
Oh yeah,
I killed everyone in the city of Balmora with one spell.
because you can customize magic in that game.
I literally watched a lot of Dragon Ball Z. I was like, I want to pull off an actual Dragon Ball Z attack. So I had fortified 2 spells, one to boost my acrobatics, another one that has a fire spell. It had a 50% chance of going off, but if it went off, it was a fireball that would travel, and on impact, it would blow up for like 4,000 feet for like 50,000 fire.
It was stupid.
It was absolutely fucking ridiculous. So I used acrobatics, leaped high into the air, DBZ style, flying over the city of Balmora. As I flew over the city of Balmora, I launched the fireball. My game froze. I watched all the death, all the crime.
His bounty is like bounty's
My bounty
bounty.
was millions. I remember walking through the ruined city of Balmora, just seeing corpse children. I was like, this is
hilarious.
what I wanted to do.
You were Daenerys Targaryen
Oh,
flying through the fucking
absolutely.
city on a dragon.
Yes, I think I even named my character Boom. He existed for one reason. It was to pull off this spell. That was it.
Speaking of Daenerys Targaryen, I want to say fuck you to everybody who wants to redo that series. She promises fire and blood the whole show, and she finally brings it, and everyone's mad.
Yes.
You got what you
It's
asked
so
for.
out of character for her.
Her family was,
No, no, I
her
didn't
family
mind
was
that.
fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Why would she do that?
I didn't mind that. What I hated was how it ended. The shittiest character with the shittiest abilities, who did the least amount to help anyone, gets the fucking kingdom.
Yeah.
Welcome to the real world.
Brand the Broken, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's because of who his dad was.
Yeah,
He's a fucking Kennedy. But
fuck that shit sucked. And the whole show was
loved it.
fantastic.
I
It
loved
was just that one little piece that I didn't like.
they ruined.
Nelson hates the handicapped. It's okay.
They ruined. They could have had a great fight at the end.
Yes.
So my biggest thing is, Grey Worm walks up and sees what Jon Snow just did. That should be on site.
Yeah.
Grey Worm versus Jon Snow, how the season ends. That's
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
gotta be how it ends. But no, Grey Worm's like, oh, we'll send him to the Night's Watch.
Yeah.
I'll take my no dick and sail away. Like, fuck you, dude. Like, fuck.
Because he knew at that moment that he was gonna die. If he had to fight Jon Snow,
Grey Worm?
he was
The
gonna
leader of the
fucking die.
Unsullied?
No,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think
I
he would've
disagree.
died.
I don't know, man.
I think Jon Snow would have fucked him up.
No
Maybe with
way.
plot armor.
He already died once.
They don't make cheat codes for that. I think Grey Worm would ate his lunch. That's
Oh man,
Karen,
but he
Karen
wasn't
would be like,
eating, they were
for the
fighting.
watch, stabbing him in the side. Like,
Grey Worm was hard as granite, man. He was. Whew.
but back to games that suck. So Injustice
Nelson's just-
1 and 2, we covered that.
Nelson's just Nelson is angry because now they have to build wheelchair ramps at King's Landing. The taxes.
Listen, just push that motherfucker off of a building top again. Finish him off. Let's be done with his ass. Put his head on a pike. Let's get it going.
But I don't even know if I can talk the rest of the show. You guys said apart from RPGs, so I have to
No, go for it.
Let's talk
man.
about The Last
What
of Us.
RPG
A lot of our favorite games are RPG heavy.
Yeah,
There's
Nelson
no-
is the one here who really doesn't play too many RPGs.
Yeah, I'm heavy on fighters and heavy on shooters. I think for me, it's because I enjoy a good RPG, but I realize how much time it takes out of my life. So when I play a shooter or I play a fighter, I can play for a couple of hours and not touch the game for a little while.
Max out every
single
every DC
superhero
character.
Okay, yeah, you called me out on that one.
Psychic Donkey Kong.
Feeling this shit.
the amount of hours he put into Injustice. Yeah, I can't play those RPGs. No,
Oh man,
they take a lot of time.
All right, come on, let's talk about this RPG fetish you have. What's the game that you're dying to talk about?
It's like, wait, a game. I got
Just pick one, anyone.
I think super underrated, needs to be rebooted somehow. Golden Sun for the Game Boy Advance.
Okay, I never played this, but I heard a lot of good.
If
shit
anyone,
about it.
I
heard a lot
mean,
of good shit about it.
I heard on the last thing when you showed me a little bit, somebody was talking shit on emulation because you can only emulate games you own.
Yeah.
Well, you need to pay for a license to play Golden Sun and get a Game Boy Advance emulator. It's phenomenal. Super unique magic system that unlocks puzzles because they do psychic shit to move puzzles. So you have a waterfall psychic move, but then your waterfall move on the map creates icicle pillars and frozen maps.
The only problem
puts
is
out
that
fires.
since it's on Nintendo and Nintendo does a shit job with taking their IPs that people love and actually bringing them forward, it's good luck if it's going to come. And if it does, they're going to make you pay for it. It's. I mean, how many times do they re-release a game from the previous generation and then charge you full price, if not more than last generation's price for the same game?
Mario's got to get paid, man.
Yeah. Isn't that what killed the whole Guitar Hero franchise and the Rock Band stuff? Because of the licensing?
What really killed that wasn't the licensing. It was the piss poor management of how they allowed you to move it forward. They essentially gave everyone a 30-day time clock of you need to save this and log in here and do this and do that to move it forward and keep your things. And we had
Our friend Mike on the Xbox.
where he had hundreds of dollars, if not thousands, in songs, and it was just all lost, and they wouldn't even help you get it back. It was just gone. Fucking gone.
He was on the phone fighting for months. He spent so much money. He had the access to his accounts. He's like, this is a game that I love, and I spent a lot of money, and he couldn't get his account information
because he would play with his family. So it was like the family game. They all would sit. They would all play together. And it was, the game that they did. And, I mean, the amount that
I know we got into Rock Band for a while there, too. And, we thought we were rock stars in the living room, but we were just drunk. And burned through countless drum sets because of it.
Oh, yeah.
It's expensive stuff, man.
Yeah. No, we were fucking rocking hard. Yeah.
Mississippi Queen.
Yeah.
That was a good song in that game. That was so much fun.
Roxanne, come on. Anybody with a shitty voice steps up for that shit. Yeah.
That franchise made that band Dragon Force famous.
Yes.
To the fire and the
The
flames.
fire and the flames.
Yeah, people went, Jesus Christ, that's hard. Who are
Yeah.
they?
Yeah.
I won't lie. It put me onto a lot of music I didn't even know
Buckethead.
existed that I actually wound up liking.
Yeah.
Because of the game was fun, and then you were going down these roads of rock, and I liked it.
Yeah, they're supposed to be doing another one. I don't know when, but for me, it's the amount of money I had spent on it and all that I had lost. I'm not really
People
looking
are skeptical
to jump back into another one if everything that I already had previously is gone.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. That was a phase that came in.
Yeah, it was.
That was the Dance Dance Revolution thing, which was kind of the first version of that,
It
You'd
was.
see a kid
But
spazzing
they-
out at the local arcade.
I mean, between rock
You mean
banding,
Ian spazzing out.
You didn't have to be Asian to play Rock Band.
Yeah.
Hey, whoa.
We do not support that comment.
Oh, my God.
His name is Shea.
Yeah, Jesus, God.
I think they burned out the player base. You had Rock Band and Guitar Hero, and they were pumping out multiple games a year.
Yeah.
So I mean, they saw the money there. They flooded the market.
Which was literally the same shit. I mean,
yes, they were.
virtually the same game. I mean, even your Call of Duty differences were far more diverse than the fucking from Rock Band 1 to 2.
Well, I mean, Rock Band Beatles had a different drum set set up. It said
yeah.
Beatles on the drum set,
Oh,
so
good. Yeah.
that constituted a difference, right?
Unique.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you got the signed Paul McCartney controller.
Yeah,
you know?
that's right.
You gotta
yeah.
get it.
Who's
Yeah.
Paul McCartney?
I remember. Nah,
I'm just kidding.
I remember. I
know who he
thought
is.
we were gonna get killed. I thought we were gonna get killed in the.
Yeah, he's from the Monkeys, right?
Yeah.
I know Michael Jackson loves him.
Loved him.
He's like Tupac. He ain't dead.
I think he died when that fire thing happened, the Pepsi show or whatever. And they rushed him off stage, and all of a sudden he came back. No, that wasn't. That was the clone.
That was the Michael
That's
Jackson
swab.
clone. Yes.
Michael Jackson died in that ambulance.
So to wrap it up, if you had to pick one game that was your favorite game of all time to play, for me, definitely. I know you guys are gonna all agree. Injustice 2 is probably.
Oh my God!
One favorite game of all time.
Pause. Okay, so let's put a scenario here. Let's put a fucking scenario here. Okay, all right.
Yes.
So you're going in. Let's say this: we're making a time capsule.
Okay.
It's all four of us.
Yes, it's
and
Superman's
the government is the government has come to us and they said, all right, gentlemen, into this time capsule, we have to put one game from each of you. And it's going to be shot 50 years into the future.
Okay.
And this game has to represent blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
What game are you going to give to the generation 50 years from now? To
This has to
He's gonna-
represent
he's
the
gonna fu- he's
pinnacle.
gonna- he's gonna
the
say it.
pinnacle of
He's gonna
gaming
say it.
excellence.
gaming
He's
excellence.
gonna say it.
All right, I got it.
So now say what you just fucking said.
All right. Time capsule game.
Here we go.
Injustice 2.
All right, why?
Because I enjoyed the game. I played that game so much. I like beating people up online. I enjoy the fighting style, the amount of characters. I have a lot of fun. The storyline, I played it a couple times too. I enjoy it. I just love superhero stuff, superhero games, fighting games. To me, it's the best superhero and fighting game of all time. For me, Injustice 2 is my pick.
All right, can't argue with it, I guess.
All right, what's your pick?
All right, okay, one.
What do you mean you guess?
I guess. I mean, fuck. Just
One game.
it's okay. One game.
One game.
So one game. All right. It's a given. All right. You got The Witcher 3 is fantastic. Skyrim's fantastic. Final Fantasy 7 is great, but it's a numbered game, so I'm not going to send that because they'll be
Right.
like, "What the fuck? What happened to the first game?" Anyway,
Tactics is better.
yeah. By then they'll be at Final Fantasy 38, and I don't want them, But
Yeah.
so anyway,
Yeah, well, Final Fantasy will probably still be going on then.
it will be still going on. It'll be still the best fishing simulator on the planet. If I have to throw one game into there, I know I mentioned it before. I'm throwing Chrono Trigger in. One, it's a time traveling game. Two, I think it just represents all the best elements of an era. And at its time when it was released, it was without a doubt the greatest game ever. And I think to this day, I could still throw it into the conversation as possible. So I'm gonna send it. Probably has to go in an emulator.
Yeah.
But fuck, Chrono Trigger's going into the time capsule
So
for me.
Ian's going with Digimon. So,
Digimon World's a good game. Back up.
but is it time capsule take with you?
So those two are already in the capsule.
They're in the capsule.
So I don't have to. I don't have to say
Injustice
Injustice.
No.
Injustice
no.
1.
I wouldn't fight it.
So we got two. We got two in the capsule.
All right, what do you got? What's your game?
You're up, CompuBox.
I
Sims?
gonna have to say I bought this game on multiple different consoles. Platinumed it on PS3 and PS4.
Viva Pinata.
Paperboy.
I'm talking about Jack and Daxter, but I'm gonna put The Last of Us in the time capsule.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
All right.
The first one.
The first one.
I don't have anything negative to say about The Last of
The
Us.
Last of Us is
It-
it is. I think it is could be the pinnacle of storytelling in a video game.
Excellent.
Whoa.
There were scenes in that game where I knew, like, when I get there, the story will progress.
Right.
But I fucking rushed through, getting shot, taking damage, not being smart, because I wanted to save Ellie, wanted to
Right.
do things. Like, it made me feel anxiety and care about the character. And not a lot of games do that, even RPGs and shit. And
Sure.
So you would put the story of like Last of Us ahead of like Witcher 3 and shit like that? I mean, really?
Man, I don't say what I said, man.
All right, yeah.
And unlike The Witcher 3, The Last of Us came out for PS3, so.
And listen, they all can't be Injustice too.
I had to pitch Jack and
All right,
Daxter.
so we got a fighting game, we got a JRPG, we got, what would you call The Last of Us? A Western RPG, technically?
Action.
Inventory.
Action adventure.
Action adventure.
Yeah, I think it's more action adventure.
All right.
Yeah.
Ed, what about you?
It's for me. It's definitely got to be something from Bethesda. They since Oblivion came out, they've
Since
been
the
my
dawn of time.
favorite franchise creators. All the Fallout games. I'm looking forward to what they do here with Starfield. That should be something interesting for something new. I think if you're gonna pick something, well, just to round off what was already picked, I'd say. Thank you.
You don't want to see what he was doing under the table.
There's a lot of sweating going on.
It is warm in here.
I'm going with Fallout 4.
Okay.
All right.
No,
I think it's about as complete as you get for a Western RPG. It's a tremendous game. It's got a great story. It's got everything that's become staples in a lot of Western RPGs, including, city building and everything else that's going along with that kind of stuff, all the side quests. And
the weapon customization in that game is fun as shit.
it is absurd, yes.
You ain't going nowhere without your Pit Boy.
Which is a thing. Pit Boy is a thing.
It's a thing. I'm going to call it Pit Boy. I don't give a fuck.
We have three amazing games in this package, and then we have, I guess, a passable fighting game to go on.
Well, I'm glad we got, at least when we built this time capsule, we got a fighting game, a JRPG, action adventure, and a Western RPG. So these guys, whoever opens this time capsule, they're gonna be pretty happy.
Yeah, they're gonna have a great time playing Injustice too.
I mean, because by then you'll have a chip in your head and you'll put the controller up your ass. So I mean, but by then, we'll be.
You guys don't do that with the controller already.
Only the GameCube. Only the GameCube.
Well, that's a great way to end it. So, Ed, cue the music. Thanks for listening to the Sofa Kingdom podcast.
I've been Edward.
I'm Nelson.
I'm Ian.
I'm Shea.
And don't forget to find us on all your social media platforms on
Sofa Kingdom OFC and all your relevant platforms.
Tell your friends, tell your mama.
Woo!
Not bad.
Not bad at all. Not bad, kid. You might be back. Who knows? What I can think about it.
I didn't pitch Hades at all.
Yeah.
Hades for this
Yeah,
I haven't played it yet.
God of War.
Oh my god, dude.
There was some good games that we missed, but I think we touched base on what.
And unlike PlayStation, Hades you can get for free on your Game Pass.
No, that's wonderful.
Yeah. It's fine. I pre-ordered Hades on PS5 before I owned a PS5, so like that game is amazing.
You didn't go for Ratchet and Clank? The big red button.
Roja.
I'm leaving that in. That shit is not.
Roja button.
There's only one red button.
One red button? It's blinking, bro.
That was sick.